In 2013, the Bermagui Surf Club kindly allowed the club's smart new building to be used, free of charge, by the local university of the third age for some of their classes. Both students and teachers were frustrated by the poor acoustics.
Dawn had done a one-off U3A rug hooking class with Lindsay Potter, so knew the basics of rug hooking and thought hooked panels might be a solution. Quilting was also considered as a large sound-absorbing blanket, but with no response forthcoming from the local quilting groups, Dawn advertised to U3A members in mid-2014 as a project to learn a new craft, rug hooking, and to create a community asset.
On mentioning her idea of hooked wall hangings to hopefully absorb sound and improve the acoustics, as well as beautifying the club rooms to Lindsay Potter, Dawn said, to use Lindsay's own words, she thought I was barking mad.
Not one to be put off by a challenge, Dawn convinced Lynn to teach the group and advertised her idea as a community art project. She was astounded when 29 women from a population of under 2,000 signed up. Clearly working on a community asset held much more appeal than simply learning a craft.
Dawn said she thought the surf club were bemused by her proposal, but agreed and told where they wanted the panels to hang and what they'd like depicted on them.
Rona Walker, U3A Life member and a valued teacher, was asked to be the artist for the project. The surf club approved her small painting, which she then painted to scale.
Dawn said she had no experience whatsoever in running such a project and is not a keen crafts person, but is a competent organiser and felt energised by the prospect of guiding a group of novices to create something useful and attractive for their community.
Reduce, reuse and recycle is a new catch cry, but these ladies have been doing it for most of their lives, taking old t-shirts and other stretch fabrics, slicing them into strips and pulling them through cheap hessian appealed to both Lindsay and Dawn.
At every step along the way, there were hurdles to overcome and much to learn, from teaching volunteers to hook to hanging the heavy panels. A request went out to the international rug hooking community for advice on how to do that. However, there was nobody who had attempted such a challenging project. The problem was solved competently, cooperatively and cheaply by members of both community groups, Bruce McCaslam, Surf Club President, and Ivan Hollins from U3A.
At the beginning of this project, the group realised they'd need help to finance the purchase of cutting equipment and materials required, and felt both encouraged and validated after seeking and receiving a small grant from the Mumbulla Foundation. Lynn Van Kampen, U3A president at the time, was instrumental in getting funding from U3A for a wall of cupboards in the surf club where boxes of fabrics and equipment could be stored. In 2014, as they learned to hook from Lynn, working on small hangings and cushions, some of the volunteers realised that rug hooking was not the craft for them, and 29 became 12.
The design was drawn on panels by Rona early in 2015 and work began in earnest. The group took pleasure in becoming part of the Australian rug hooking community. After an initial inquiry through the Australian Rugmakers Guild website, they were put in contact with Miriam Miller and Jackie Thompson of the Narrawilly Proggers in Milton and benefited from their wise rug-making counsel.
The women of the Bermagui and District U3A rug hooking group found joy in working together as a group of strippers and hookers. Like any community group, they have a diversity of backgrounds, skills and experiences and have learned so much from each other. What these women have achieved in a relatively short period is remarkable. From absolute novices, they've become craftswomen who've worked diligently together to create a unique community asset. As Lynn said recently,
"We have created a wonderful thing, not just the panels, but the group, and we've had fun doing it."